Tonight's episode of the Hard Knocks Episode 3 recap show is here. It's ready. We are hot off the press. New guest this week. If you listen to last week's, you know we brought the heat, and this week is no different. But before we get to the episode, I want to thank everyone who came to my shows last week at the Burbank Comedy Festival. There were shows Monday, Wednesday, and even a Friday one. So if you came out, thank you for doing so, and be on the lookout for more shows coming, not to mention videos up here on the channel, so subscribe to it if you haven't already. Today on the show, Cousin Adrian is back. You know him from the movie series we do here on the network, and he joins me to talk about Hard Knocks Episode 3. He's got thoughts. We get off on many, many tangents, but that's the best part about this show. Hard Knocks Episode 3. Are you watching? I've talked to a lot of people who are just starting the series as well, but the great thing is the football season is in sight. It's on the horizon. We're starting to follow our teams. We're starting to get the names down in our head, and we're starting to have little hopes and wishes, little dreams for our team season. I know I am starting to have many dreams about, I don't know, maybe a winning season, maybe a playoff berth. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's talk Hard Knocks, Episode 3 recap show with Cousin Adrian. Let's go. All right, it is Tuesday night. We just wrapped up Hard Knocks Episode 3. Cousin Adrian joins me. He is in the house on the show this week. Third episode, third new guest. You know him from the movie department of the Running It Back network, where we dive into all types of movies. But Adrian, you're actually a pretty big football fan, so this is right up your alley.
Oh,
as
yeah.
far as talking sports.
First time ever on your podcast, we talked about football.
Yep, that's
true.
true.
So let me give people a little bit of a backstory about me. I actually wanted to take Carmona's position on your podcast. I thought I had like the reservoir of information to kind of overtake him, but I was wrong. Carmona, that's his mantle, and I'm gonna let him have it. But hey, look, I want to throw my hat in the ring here and there. I want to get my noodle a little wet sometimes.
Okay, well, that's fair. Well, you know, this year we always throw new angles in there. You know how like PTI kind of has guest hosts sometimes?
Yeah.
You know, like we could sub you in there for a Sunday where Carmona is having family issues and doesn't decide to show up, which he has done before.
I could be like the Mad Dog Russo of, the Sunday Night Football wrap-up show.
Oh, there you go. You could be Mad Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how I'm Mike Francesa in this analogy.
Yeah.
Let's go to the phones. Let's talk about the phones. Dog, the New York Jets, they look really bad out there. They can't. How you doing? All right, let's go to the phones. And then you jump in with your Mad Dog impression.
Just a really quick, this is like one of my favorite, this totally encapsulates what Mad Dog Russo is. So the year that Michael Jordan won like his first MVP, some year where he was a spectacular, some dude that rode the Tour de France won Athlete of the Year. And Mad Dog Russo was like, he rode a bike, Mike. He rode a bike for 2 weeks.
It's a good Mad Dog. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, Mike, give me a bike. You're talking tennis, Mike.
He rode a bike for 2 weeks.
I didn't know you were a Mike and the Mad Dog fan.
I do too, and then especially since like they had like a really like turbulent relationship, like they didn't really like get along with each other. I love that sort of mayhem.
Well, I have to admit, half of my Mad Dog knowledge is just from Sour Shoes from the Howard Stern Show doing the Mad Dog impression.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of know Mad Dog Russo is from impressions of Sour Shoes going like, wait, we got to look at all the hubbadoos. We got a hubbadoo out there in the U.S. Open. Like he loves like odd sports. And so I have to admit my knowledge of Mad Dog is from an impression of Mad Dog.
Right. Yeah, a lot of my exposure Mad Dog was through the CERN show as well, so I'll copy that.
Yeah. Very New York centric show, very sports specific, not even sports specific, but sports of sports specific. But you're saying you could sub in, you could be the Mad Dog to the Sunday night talk potentially.
Potentially.
Interesting. All right, so where are you on the football season as of now? Because I know you're a Broncos fan. I know we have the football season in sight right
Right.
now. You know, the start of the season is in sight. So give me your brief feelings as a Broncos fan. Are you up? Are you down? Are you concerned? What do you think right now? You got a new
I've been
coach. That's pretty
getting
good.
I've been getting in a lot of fights with my friends, defending what I think is going to be a better Bronco team. But I my back is a little bit against the wall. So I have my one of my friends, Randy, who is particularly being a big asshole to me right now. And we have a bet going that the Broncos will finish with a better record than the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm getting in a lot of fights. Relationships are being bruised. But I think, I mean, you can't do any worse than they did last year with like Nathaniel the Hack Hackett. You know, what I mean, we got
Hmm.
Sean Payton. I mean, maybe we finish like 9-8, but
Hmm.
it can't get
Okay.
any worse. It can't get any worse,
You're
man.
sounding very, yeah, very conservatively optimistic then.
Yeah,
You
I'm just
know,
saying, like, they're not going to be as bad as they were last year, which is bad. So,
let me
very conservative. Yes,
here's
yes.
an incident I ran into a couple days ago. I have my Las Vegas Raiders ball cap on while I'm just around the city, and this mailman I pass by on the street, and this mailman goes like, "Raiders fan," and I go, "Oh yeah, yeah, Raiders season's coming up," and he looks at me and he shakes his head and he's like, It's gonna be a long season, long season. And I laugh it off at first. I'm like, oh yeah, well it's a tough one, it's a tough
Uh,
one. And he doubles down and he goes, long season, and then
wow.
now I'm getting a little annoyed. And I go like,
Yeah.
oh who's your team, man? And he's like, oh Broncos fan. I'm like,
Oh my God.
should you really be throwing stones if you're a Broncos fan? Like, but first of
Wow.
all, what kind of social interaction is this? You see someone on the street
Yeah.
and you just instantly shit on their team? I don't get
Yeah,
this.
right.
Oh, so
Yeah.
I had my back against the wall and I tried to be nice. I'm like, oh, well, it's, oh, and he
Yeah,
throws this one at me. He goes, Vegas has got them over under 5 wins this season. And I go like, oh, interesting. I guess that's about right. I'm still trying to be nice. That's about right,
yeah.
And he goes like, that's too high. It's too high. I'm like, well, then fuck you,
Wow.
dude. Then take the under. Bet the under. Bet
Who
your life savings on the under, mailman.
what a fucking piece of shit, man.
When did we, as a people, turn into this where you see an article of clothing you don't like and go nuts? I
Yeah.
feel like Mad Dog Russo would be having a day with
Uh
this incident.
with that being said, hold on, let me mute my phone really quick. I have my ringer on.
All right,
Okay, sorry
take a
about
break.
that. Sorry about that. The thing, I mean, now that we're
Was that
talking about,
Randy texting you about the upcoming
yeah,
season? Yeah, that was Randy.
yeah, he was like, yeah, Randy was like, get lubed up, boy. Get
I
lubed up.
I should have told you. I tried to get Randy on this episode, but I couldn't zoom it in. We couldn't work it out.
Oh, geez. Well, that's too bad. That would have been a very tense episode. But I was gonna bring up now that we're it's just a full blown football episode. Raiders have no contingency plan at quarterback besides old Jimmy G, man.
What about
Like
that
they're
Aiden guy, number 4? He looked good in the preseason. Come on, man.
oh really?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
He's
feel
got a
like
mustache.
everyone, yeah. Like now that we're like Zach Wilson looks like a fucking Joe Montana out there, but it's the preseason.
It's the preseason. It's the
It's the
preseason.
preseason.
Yeah. You can't get too hyped and you can't get down with preseason. It's just like a little appetizer. It's like when you order calamari. It's no
Hmm.
one really likes calamari, but I don't think
No,
anybody dislikes calamari.
yeah, it's just like, oh well, this will hold us over. Yeah, this is enough.
Hmm.
This is oh, here comes the entree. That's
Right.
what calamari is.
Just pick.
And
You
then
just pick at it. You pick at the
are
off
you
season.
are you guys done with this calamari? You can go ahead and take it away. Yeah, we're good.
Take it away. Take it away. Yeah. We're done. We're done. Yeah. Like when you run out of the sauce, the like mozzarella sauce you dip it in, and you're like, oh, we need some more sauce to finish. No. Don't worry about it. Just take it. Just take it. Just get out of here. That's the
Have the
preseason.
Raiders ever been on Hard Knocks?
They have. Yeah, they've been on at least once. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
They were still
Yeah, man.
Oakland.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a dream matchup right there. This podcast and then seeing your neuroses with the would
Oh
be
yeah. Well,
preseason
you've seen
Raiders.
it during the season when Carmona, my AK arch nemesis, certain Sundays wants to do the pod during Raider games, and then
Uh-huh.
and then you
Oh
slowly
yeah.
watch me melt down because I get upset.
Uh,
I really need to really do it. I need one of those headsets that has the mic attached, and I can walk around and kind of
yeah.
bury my face in my hands and react to third down calls.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite podcasts that you did where you were like simultaneously recording while like the Raiders were battling the Chargers like for the last spot or something.
Like
Was it for the last playoff spot? Yeah.
I was rooting for a tie. I was encouraging them to
Oh
tie the
yeah.
game.
Oh right.
And
Yeah.
Carmona at one point just says, like, you got to settle down. He's yelling at me to settle. I was like, this is no time to settle down, Carmona.
Yeah.
You wanted this. I don't want to do this. You wanted this.
Yeah.
And of course, he just loves it. But I think they won or they got into the playoffs.
Yeah. That was transfixing
Yeah.
broadcasting there.
That was like one of the, like slowly watching a knife being turned into, because I think that was the game like Justin Herbert converted 4 fourth downs.
Yeah,
in
right.
one
Like in the same
drive.
drive. Yeah. It's just like, oh,
Will this Sunday end?
Yeah.
Oh my
Good.
God. Well, look at this
Good
great
podcast.
stress we have to look forward to this season coming up.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, let's talk Hard Knocks episode 3. We just finished watching it. It's Tuesday night. What's your relationship to Hard Knocks in general? Is it something you watch religiously every year? I'm finding out less and less people watch Hard Knocks now.
No, I think I like so there's one season that I was kind of drawn to. It was like when were they still in LA? I think they had just moved to LA, the Rams, when they had Jeff Fisher as their coach.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't know why I was drawn to that. I think just because like they just moved, they had Jared Goff. I like teams that like are in rebuilding mode, but like have a lot of flashy toys. Not that Jared Goff is so quote unquote flashy, but they had Todd Gurley. So I kind of wanted to get a closer look like at a team in rebuilding mode and see how they were functioning.
Yeah, it does.
Training camp.
It does try to hit that mark of documenting a team on the brink where the team needs to rebuild, but they have tools and we got to see what could happen with them. I mean, they don't choose any teams that make the playoffs the year previously. They don't choose any teams with a first year head coach. So these are all teams on the brink, but
Right.
it does seem to strike that balance where every time you hear the team that's selected, you're like, oh shit, that's a good team.
Yeah.
Like you get a little
Yeah.
instant juice. This is the first year where they chose the Jets and I wasn't instantly enamored with it. I was like, why the Jets? But
Yeah.
I'll still watch it. And also, there's no shortage of football off-season content now. This used to be our only beacon of football.
Yeah.
And now there's plenty of stuff. So
That's true.
it is more competition out there for eyeballs with Hard Knocks in general. So I think that's where but I have noticed this, my own brother, Steven, the one who's about my age, he's watching Hard Knocks. And he'll give me a text and he'll be like, "What's up with Rodgers? Like, did you see the episode?" And I'm like, number one, okay, it's obviously you don't watch the show. Yes, I watched the episode.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then so he's into it. He's watching it a bit. So I think Hard Knocks carries, but it is spotty these days. with who's actually
Yeah.
watching it. Remember the Cleveland year? That was like the next day everyone was talking about the fat coach or something, or did you hear
Yeah.
what this guy said? Like, I think Hard Knocks is struggling to get eyeballs these
Yeah.
days.
I actually, now that you mention it, I watched the Cleveland Brown one too, because the expectations for them were starting to peak. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because they, like, all of a sudden they didn't really have, like, for so a long stretch of years, no quarterback, no really skilled players. Then they added Tyrod Taylor. They drafted Baker Mayfield first overall. By the way, Baker Mayfield in my notes over here. So they, yeah, then
Mm.
like the expectations were so high for that team. Like that was a season of Hard Knocks where I was like really intrigued to see what the
Good
fuck they were up
selection.
to.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very good selection. All right, well, let's dive into the episode itself. I just want to start off with this right away. You watch HBO, you click the episode. A preview comes on for something called BS High. I don't know if you got that preview. I was like, all right, if you gave me the option, skip Hard Knocks episode 3 or watch BS High, I'm watching BS High. That thing looks
Man.
like Lord of the Flies for football teams.
Oh yeah, I know.
What's
Yeah,
the
I was
scoop on
wondering what
that? When does that come out? I want to watch it.
man, that is gonna be a scandal and a half, whatever the fuck was going on at that football program.
It's got
Holy shit.
it's
Yeah.
got the players are like, nobody's in this school. The coach is like, did I commit a crime? Am I in jail? I'm like,
Yeah.
let's go right now. I want to watch BS High. So
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. Good job, Heart or HBO, getting me hooked for BS High.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that show like later whenever it comes out. Like that show is gonna make
BS High
headlines.
recap show? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
No, I'm saying like in general, like that show is gonna be talked about like amongst
Um,
people.
I,
That
I
just
think so
looks,
too. It looks fun.
yeah.
That looks really fun. Well, the season is officially in sight. Hard Knocks starts with Coach Saleh giving yet another philosophical speech. And I just want to know right now, Adrian, are you a survivor, a contender, a competitor, or a commander?
Yeah, I'm definitely a survivor.
Oh,
I'm scraping by, man.
I didn't understand, once again, I didn't understand a good majority of Coach Saleh's philosophies.
Yeah.
I didn't know if, all right, so you want to be a command? No. The best was the competitor?
No, no, a commander, because I think
Commander.
you're so good that like I think the idea is that you're so good that you lead by example and you also that coaching jargon, like I don't get like how like Rodgers like wasn't like kind of like snickering like behind his back.
Yeah, there's a lot of coach jargon in this episode, and Coach Saleh just goes full philosopher right out of the gate. And like it didn't hit home because at the end of the episode, he's on the sideline and he's explaining it still to like a player. He's like, "You got to be that
Oh,
competitor," and he's like, "I'm a commander, coach." Well, commander is good, but you got. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, Coach Saleh. Your philosophies need like a proofreader. Someone needs to
yeah.
go like, all right, we got to tighten this up a little bit. So I'm very skeptical of any coaches that get philosophical like this. You think Bill Belichick gives these
No.
philosophical? No, he just X's and O's. I'm worried. I'm
Yeah,
already
Bill
worried.
Belichick. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is the second episode where Coach Saleh confuses me with his opening speech with the crow and the eagle. I still didn't understand that speech. Now we've got
Hmm.
competitors and survivors and contenders and commanders, and I'm worried. I'm worried about Coach Saleh.
Yeah, and then like I was kind of like wanting to defend him a little bit, like insofar as like, well, he's like when he was coaching with the Niners, when he was their defensive coordinator, like of course they had like a top five defense, and then I think even last year with the Jets they had a really good defense. But like on the flip side, I was like, yeah, but those fucking two defenses that he worked with like, were so talented. So I'm not sure like that this sort of like motivational approach is really what's like getting the job done at the end of the day.
Yeah,
But I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it's just kind of like, you have really talented defenses that you should be really grateful to have.
and the players were confused too. Like they show the players' faces in this meeting, and they're kind of writing things down. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's 47 years old.
Yeah, for sure. He looks so old.
So
this
I'm
entire.
like, I want to like the Jets. I want to root for them. But I hear this speech. I'm like, uh-oh, red flag number one. But then you got Dalvin Cook is an acquisition that they get from Minnesota. Was it Minnesota last year?
Right.
So
Yeah.
do you think this is big impact or little impact? Because they're stacking their offense with some good players right now.
Yeah, huge. I mean, he's still in my eyes like a top 8 running back, maybe. And then they drafted a running back last year, relatively high, Brees Hall, who was like on pace to be like rookie of the year. So it's gonna give him like the flexibility to like really ease in Brees Hall, like not rush him back, in other words, so that they can have like, a 2-1-2 punch throughout the season.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble figuring out like what they're gonna look like on offense. Like, because I
Yeah.
mean, Rodgers obviously Hall of Fame, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, if not the greatest, and like a really good young core of receivers. But then you have fucking Dalvin Cook and Brees Hall. Like, they really can do whatever they want, really, and then they have a really good defense to, you know,
Yeah.
rest their head on. So
Weapons on offense for sure. Rodgers, Dalvin Cook, the rookie receiver that they dive into a little bit in this episode, Randall Cobb. But the question mark is the offensive line. Can they block
yeah,
anybody? Aaron Rodgers getting sacked in practice, for Christ's sake. So
yeah.
still question marks there. But I would say Dalvin Cook is going to be an impact. That's a net positive. That looks good. And they sort of mentioned it, a lot of spending by the GM this year on the Jets
Yeah,
to really give Aaron Rodgers the weapon. So we're a win now situation for the Jets. So,
100%. Yeah.
so some positivities, and then also, where did you stand on Woody Johnson, the owner, coming in the practice meeting, and he's got the big Jets bling chain on? Do you think that motivated the players more or less or indifferent?
I always get, like, I'm just always like, why try to like relate? Like, just be an owner. Just be an owner. Like, in my head, it always comes off just as a little bit racist, but
Oh,
like,
you think so?
they're just he's trying to be playful,
Hmm.
but it's like, I don't know, like when with like the owner like organization relationship, I equated to like modern day slavery. So I mean, I just try to avoid. I was kind of hoping you were going to bring this up, quite frankly, because now I'm taking this to a darker place.
Yeah, I know you're going dark. Modern day slavery, where they get paid at a 1% of the
Million.
population pay
Yeah.
grade. So I think I see the pushback on that. Well, what would
But
you
you
do as an
see,
owner? Oh, go ahead.
okay. But you see, like, now, like the players that are buying, like that dude that busted his knee. I don't think that dude's ever going to play in the NFL again. He probably didn't clear like $800,000, and that's like what he was. That was his like career. So I mean, yeah, I'm going to get pushed back. Whatever. I said what I said, uh, and fuck it.
Wow, vying for the Mad Dog spot. Well, as the owner, I don't think you can really win in any situation because you're like the principal.
Yeah,
You know, like when the
yeah,
principal tried to do something at the pep rally in high school and everybody was kind of like half laughing at the principal, half encouraging him. Like, that's kind of what the owner is. He's like, let me try
yeah.
and relate. Let me wear some bling. They'll laugh. It'll be funny. But so what would you do as the owner? What would be your move? If you're the owner of the Jets and you got 5 minutes during a practice or during a team meeting, what would you
Yeah,
do? Would you go bling? Would you go philosophical speech? What would you do?
yeah.
Would you do talent show? What's the move?
No, I would just probably like have like a huge party and like maybe show like my gratitude and just like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe give them all like a signing bonus of like $40,000. I don't know. Just to
Just give
spread the wealth a
cash.
little. Yeah, fuck it.
Wow. Okay.
I'm a billionaire, man. Here,
Yeah.
free cars for everyone.
So you would maybe take the stack of bills and just do one of these over
Yeah,
everybody's head?
yeah. Cut the shit. You're a bill. Spread the wealth, baby.
Oprah style. Oh, that's not
Or buy
bad.
chains. Buy chains for everyone.
Throw the
Have
chains
them
out to
all.
everyone?
Yeah. No, have a custom made one for each player,
Oh,
regardless of. tenure, all that shit. Now
Oh, that's
that's a good
interesting.
gesture.
Okay. All right. You're flipping me on this. I was gonna say the last one would be do like a little history of like the team. But then I think like, well, wait, they don't have any good history. I don't know
Yeah,
what you would have what the glory year of Boomer Esiason when they went 9-7. And
yeah,
so maybe the chain's a better idea.
yeah. The 9-7 year with Brett Favre. Let's look back on that.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah. Never mind that. This is not like we have rich history of the
God, the
Jets.
Jets are a mess.
Mm. Well, in this episode though, we finally got a little peek at like players' family. Like we finally got out of the football field with this one. We got to see family members. We got to see the one player who might be cut. We got to see some player little kids. I always like that the best in these hard knocks where we get to see what the family is like. We get to see how they cheer from the stands. That was pretty
Yeah,
good. And then we get to see Randall Cobb announce to his little kids they're going to have another baby. That was a nice moment.
a lot of Randall Cobb over here on my notepad.
Oh, you
Heavy
like
Randall
Randall?
Cobb.
Yeah. Also, it was interesting that he came from the Packers to the Jets with Rodgers, so he can be like the Aaron Rodgers whisperer to some
Yeah,
degree. Like when Rodgers is like bitching out the rookies and the rookies are all pissed
yeah.
off, maybe Randall Cobb can be the go-between. He's like, hey man, the guy just gets
Right,
really,
right.
really pissed off when you do this. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Maybe he can be the go-between. Like that kind of gave me a little bit of encouragement for this Jets team.
In fact, you know what? That's exactly when I was watching the episode. Well, I mean, Cobb also like literally is talking to the core receiver, like, "Hey, man, if he doesn't trust you, he ain't gonna fucking throw you the ball." And then he also uses like a double negative. He ain't not gonna throw you the ball or some shit. And then, but I was also thinking too, like, maybe initially I was like, oh, Rodgers just wants like a little bit of familiarity. He wants a receiver that he knows. But then I was also like, what if he just wants him there to be like his like sports therapist, like to have someone to really like be honest with, like on Sundays, like when shit is just like not going down.
Yeah. Well, I do think watching this episode, I do think Rodgers is all in on this team. Like he looks like he wants to be there. He's involved. He's got this Randall Cobb as his whisperer. He is seems like half Coach Saleh's team, half Aaron Rodgers' team.
Yeah.
So I do think this is like there's a lot of tools here that they could make a run. Now look at the division they're in. It's going to be really, really hard to get over the top of Buffalo. Um,
Miami,
Miami is a question mark. Who's the other team in their division? Buffalo, Jets, Miami,
Patriots.
and the Patriots. So realistically, this is a race for second place. I think.
Mhm.
I don't think they can. I think Buffalo's winning 11 games no matter what. But can they fight for a wild card? Okay, maybe there's a few arguments for it after watching this episode. We got the Rodgers whisper. we got we got Aaron Rodgers still has a rocket arm. We got some offense on there. So
Yeah.
overall, I feel good about this team, but I am not going to put any money down on this that they're going to make the playoffs.
Mm.
If I were to ask you right now, are the Jets going to make the playoffs? What do you say?
I've heard, well, you asking me, I would say yes. I would say that they probably clinched the last playoff spot
Mm,
in the AFC. But just to go off that thought, predictions for the Jets are all over the fucking place. We got people like that they're going to be like a 7-10 team. Got people saying that they're going to be a wild card team. We got people saying that they're going to go to the fucking Super Bowl.
the
Like
Mentalist
never.
last episode said they were. that
Oh
was
yeah.
that was one prediction.
I mean, but like that team is so stacked. I mean, look at what Brady did his first year with the Bucks. Like, I don't think anyone like projected the fucking Bucks to not
No.
only go to the Super Bowl to win the Super Bowl. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not out of the realm of possibility, but you
Yeah.
know,
I think a lot of teams saw that Brady year and they were like, Russell Wilson, come to the Broncos. Aaron Rodgers, come to the Jets. Like, give me that old vet, and you come for 1, maybe 2 years, and do whatever
yeah,
you want. Do what we'll get whoever you want. Brady picked his own coach and then fired his own coach at
beautiful,
the
yeah,
Bucks. So I think people have seen that recipe and they're like, all right, let's go for a win now. Let's get the QB in here because we've seen it work one
yeah.
time.
Hey, Peyton with the Broncos too. He won a Super
That's
Bowl.
a good one too. Yeah, good example.
Trying to think, there's got to be one more, and recently, there's got to be one more, right?
Yeah, who are we leaving out? Who are we leaving out? Older quarterback who did a year and then pieced out.
No,
There's
no,
got to
no
be.
one on the level of like Brady, Peyton. No
You know what I thought
success, but
of?
no.
You know what I thought of this? Because remember last year we had a bunch of quarterbacks go down at the end of the year, and then Brock Purdy goes down in that playoff game. A smart coach right now, and I'm going to call this the Philip Rivers conundrum. You start making friends with like a quarterback who's been retired 1, maybe 2 years. Philip
Yeah,
Rivers, maybe Romo a couple years back, and you say, "Hey, just just keep your skills up because we may want you week
right.
17 to be on our roster. And if shit
Yeah,
goes down, we got to bring you in as that third quarterback. Here's our playbook. Just keep reading it right now because you
yeah,
may get a phone call. Because number one, there's not that many good quarterbacks. Number two, they get injured all the time. So
yeah.
I'm going to call this the Philip Rivers panic button.
Did you hear? So I'm assuming you heard that rumor too that if they advanced that they were gonna that Philip Rivers was gonna play in the Super Bowl.
That's where I heard it from. That little rumor that
That's
like
that's
Philip Rivers
mind blowing.
is the 2 year and out QB. Like who else could that have been? Like because there's a number of them out there. You could have brought him in. Back in the day, this guy was
Breeze.
Vinny Breeze. Yep. Back in the day, this was Vinny Testaverde. Because I remember like Dallas, like all their quarterbacks went down, and they brought in Vinny Testaverde for like a week, and he threw a touchdown pass, and then he was back to be retired. So
Yeah,
smart coach, start thinking of your QB now of
right.
who can be in your emergency break glass box, and then you bring them out. Philip Rivers would be one. Drew Brees would be another. There's got to be one more out there where a coach should be like, I'm going to make a phone call right now.
You don't
Just
think Romo has a little bit left?
I'd love to
What, two
see it.
games?
I'd love to see it. Someone I heard this one. This isn't my idea, but I love it. The very first week one, I think the Eagles are at the Patriots, and at halftime they're having a Tom Brady celebration. They're like retiring his number into the
Yeah.
stadium. If Mac Jones is playing really poorly, you don't think Tom Brady's going to break that glass and put the jersey on and be like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm going in? And
Yeah,
the
for
fans are going to
sure.
start yelling his name in the third quarter. They'll be like, put the jersey on. So you watch out. Emergency quarterback. Brady. Put Brady on the list. He's 2 years
Yeah.
out. Put him on the
Yeah.
list
Oh
as
yeah, Brady. Yeah.
bring him in. Bring him in. All right, let's talk about the episode. Let's go into the awards for the episode because a lot of stuff happened here. Award number one, most memorable moment. I got two nominees. Number one, all the practice fights. I'm I'm halfway convinced that joint practices are just happening so you can get into a fight. So they
Yeah.
don't punch their own teammates. There was 13 fights in the joint practice. So I went
Yeah.
memorable moment, all the practice fights, and then this one was my most bummed out one. We got what, a minute and a half of Ralph Macchio in the credits? Like let
Wow.
Macchio cook. Let him give a speech. Let him throw a few balls to Aaron Rodgers. So I went
Yeah.
with those two, and it's gonna be Macchio for me. I wanted more Macchio.
You went with Macchio. Okay.
I want more. It wasn't enough. I needed him to do more with the team. I like how he said fuck too.
Yeah.
Like he was like, "There's a good fucking team." I was like, "Oh yeah, he's a New York guy." I forgot about that.
Jersey
Jersey guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, then to kind of now that you mention it, yeah, what's the deal with inter-team practices in training camp? Like
Well,
what do you get out of
I
that?
think they get out of it just the potential of not beating up their own guys,
Yeah.
and
But I
they
mean
can
there's
they
still the
can
risk
mix
of
it up.
injury.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I
always a
mean,
risk,
and then
but
like also look at the team that they were practicing against. I mean, you're practicing against Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask. Like it's not even like you're getting the benefit of practicing against like someone better.
yeah,
So like you're helping them, Like I don't know. I just think it's
Well they do it. This is why the preseason games are scheduled. Those are teams they don't play during the season. So that's
oh
why the preseason games are such. So they can sort of go all out and try crazy shit because they're not going to play this team anyway. And maybe that's why they get into fights too, because they're like, "Fuck you, I'm not going to see you all year. I'm gonna
yeah
I'm gonna give you a cheap shot." And then they have an actual preseason game against that team
yeah
at the end of the week. So it's this weird thing where like let's practice against each other. Okay, now let's practice against a team. All right, now let's play that team in the preseason.
yeah
So I went practice fights were fun. They kind of like, and I like how Aaron Rodgers kind of like gets in the scrum a little bit, but just the very outside of it. And he's like, come
yeah
on, guys, chill, chill.
yeah. Yeah, and then I think he was talking to this linebacker Devin White. He's like, man, how do you have enough energy to fight, man? Fucking, you've been practicing for like 2 hours. Like, yeah, like, why fight? Yeah, it's funny.
Wow. Yeah, that and Macchio, my two most memorable moments. What was your most memorable?
So one of my most memorable was actually not a moment in this training camp. So it was when uh Rodgers was talking about his last game at Lambeau Field and how he knew it was going to be at least for Randall Cobb his last game at Lambeau Field and like how they were like kind of like emotionally supporting each other. I was like, damn, because you know what? The reason why that stuck out to me is because Rodgers, I don't know about you, like people make him out to be like he's like some sort of asshole all the time. But he's like a really like I hate to say it, but like a really tender person, like a very like compassionate person. So I was like, that's good that they're showing that like side of him that he's not this fucking anti-vaxxer that's a fucking asshole that wants to sabotage his whole team, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
good for you, Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I see that argument very clearly where people are like, "Oh, he's anti this, he screwed over teams." Oh, and then just the cherry on top of it because of the COVID year was, "Oh, and look, he's anti-vax," which he was not anti-vax. He's
Yeah,
explained
he
it.
would. Hmm.
He's explained it, but this was just piling on. But at the core of it, he still might be a dick. He still might be difficult
Yeah,
of a person. Like he did drag out
sure.
the Packers for 3 years, whether he was coming back or not every offseason. So I'll go with you on that. He's difficult. If we look into his personal life, he seems to have some family issues. He seems to have
Yeah,
switched off women that he's gotten engaged to 3 times over. So
right.
he might be a difficult person. I get that, but he does seem committed to football. He does seem
Yeah,
committed to a goal. The only thing I thought was funny about that last game up with Randall Cobb was they played the Lions, and I was like, "Hey, Rodgers, you totally tanked that game. You blew that game, by the way, guys. Don't act
hmm.
like oh we're going off into the sunset. You guys tanked that end of the season. Don't give me this."
Do you
So
think he tanked like that was his last fuck you?
I think he tanked the second half of the season last year. He was bad last year. He was bad under pressure. He's coming off an MVP season, and he could not have a worse year following it. I think he tanked it. I think he wanted to go somewhere else, and he was like, "Why do I want to get hit?" Same with Derek Carr, same way. I don't think he wanted to get hit all year, and he was like, "This is not
Yeah,
working out. I'm just gonna take sacks or I'm gonna throw interceptions." So I think there's some criticism that Aaron Rodgers is worthy of, and I think there's some that he is not worthy of.
you don't think that when the Packers traded Devontae Adams, like Rodgers was just like, all right, well, fuck you guys.
Yeah, I
You
think he
don't
said that.
think?
I think he's
Yeah,
like, "Hey, screw you."
it's like, are you kidding me? You just gave Derek Carr one of my best receivers I've ever played with my entire career.
Yes,
Fuck you guys.
I think he said that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
good. I know,
That's
as
what's
he
making
should
me
have.
excited for the season. Is like, all right, let's see what he got. He's got control of everything. Let's see what he's got.
Hmm.
This is going to be fun. So, Hard Knocks, you may be swaying me, Hard Knocks. I'm into the Jets now. All right,
Oh
next
yeah.
award, favorite quote. At first, I thought this was hard to figure out, but I got three nominees. I got Coach Saleh at
Oh
halftime of
no.
the preseason says, "Offense, start fast. Defense, close the fucking door." Thank you, Coach Saleh.
Like
I,
I said.
Adrian, I feel like I could be an NFL coach. Like I could think of these quotes, and I think I could do it.
Yeah.
I got nominee number 2, Aaron Rodgers. I haven't been punched in the face in a while. Feel like I needed it. Good quote when Coach Saleh's son accidentally punches him. And then last nominee, this was not a quote. This was written on the Jets practice facility. All gas, no brake. Again, Jets, this is why you worry me. With quotes like this.
Yeah.
All gas, no brake. Isn't that a little redundant? If you're on the gas, you're not on the brake.
Yeah.
So those are my nominees. And for me, it's the Aaron Rodgers. I haven't been punched in the face in a while. That's my favorite quote. What do you got?
Also, like that little slogan, all gas, no break, it doesn't even spell like a cool acronym or anything. So it even looks like more ridiculous when it's like put out. Like, my favorite quote. So I had one that was a little coach speaky, so I crossed it out. It was Randall Cobb talking to. You know what? I'll read it because he uses a double negative, and I love when people use double negatives. So he's talking to the younger guys, like explaining how Rodgers, like he needs to trust you. Look, if he don't trust you, he ain't not throwing you the ball. He ain't not throwing you the ball. So I'd be like, so wait, he is going to throw me the ball?
Right. And all the rookie receivers look confused all the time. Like that one rookie receiver that they did like a few minutes on who like was super fast and catching all the balls. He is like, I like him because he's like no ego right now. He's kind of like whatever you tell me, I'm going to do, coach. Like, that's why I think he's perfect for Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers can just steer him however. But yeah, Cobb is doing that, and they're like kind of like, right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Are you talking about Garrett Wilson?
Number 17.
Possibly.
Is that him?
I think so.
Garrett, yes. You know I got it written down right here. Garrett Wilson.
Oh, he's going to be a star this year. I mean, he was a star last year with really mediocre quarterback play. This year is like, well, I digress. But let me also give you my other quote because I thought it was a little funny. So it was like they're getting ready to play their preseason game, and then Zach Wilson was putting on that stupid looking bandana.
Oh yeah.
And then Rodgers like, dude, you still fucking wear those, man? Like just totally equipment shaming him. I don't know. I thought that was funny.
Rodgers has done that a few times. He did that. The other thing when Zach Wilson's on the sideline and Rodgers goes, you ain't got no towel? And he goes, no, I do. It's right here. It's right here. Check it out so I can put my hand. And Rodgers is already tuned out. He's already looking over here. Like, you brought this up, Roger.
Yeah. I like that sort of dynamic between those two guys. I'm actually, are you surprised that they're getting along as well as they are? I thought they were going to be like kind of like estranged.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't think about that. Zach Wilson seems pretty enamored with Rodgers. Like he's taking in all his feedback, and Rodgers is coaching him up a little bit as well. So right now they're good. It's a happy marriage right now. I wonder how much playing time Zach Wilson is actually going to get this year, and maybe he knows it. Or he's like, well, I'm just going to take it all in and then and then go from there.
I got a. Well, I won't spoil it, but I have a no. Go ahead. I'm not going to spoil anything.
All right. Well, did you give me your favorite quote? Was that your quote from Randall Cobb? He's not gonna not throw you the not ball.
If he don't trust you, he ain't not throwing you the ball, man.
Randall Cobb, what are you talking about? Give me a break. Give me a break to the NFL. Sorry, I went Mad Dog on you there. I should have warned you.
And Mad Dog, is he a Jets fan?
I don't know what Mad Dog is, to be honest. Francesa is a New York guy. And specifically he's a Parcells guy. I don't know what Mad Dog is. I think he's a tennis fan.
Oh no.
Mad Dog loves tennis. All right, so my quote was Rodgers getting punched in the face. Yours was Randall Cobb. Next award, what job would you want from this episode? I kind of had to do some searching for this one, and I went with not exactly a job, but I went with very stadium related. Number one, I would love to use the team hot tub. at some point in my playing career. It always looks so relaxing, and the facility looks really nice.
Yeah.
But then Coach Saleh, before the one preseason game, is running the stadium. He's doing stairs. He's looking like an ad for like vitamins that middle-aged men take, like to like
Yeah.
so they can be buff, like whatever that Frank Thomas guy was selling a few years ago, where he's like, and the ladies will like it too, because
Yeah.
Saleh. So I would love to have access to the stadium before the fans come in, so I could run the stairs, I could be on the field. I want to be able to do
Mm.
that. And then finally, my last nominee is the coach who wears these like Hulk hands arm pads. They go up to like here and they're padded. And the defense does like some drill where they hit his pads and he goes like this and swim move. I
Oh
want that.
yeah.
I'd go for that job too. But by and large, I want to be in the stadium before all the fans so I can fuck around there.
Yeah, huh? You get sideline privileges. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers. Oh, I hope you have a great season this year. Just all the player interactions. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be cool. I mean, that's obviously a massive perk to have, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe like, Pete Carroll throws passes to the receivers
Oh,
pregame. Like I would love to do
yeah.
that. Like let me throw you a few balls pregame and run around a little bit. So I would go early access to the stadium would be a job I want for this episode.
I guarantee you, Garrett Wilson, had he had Pete Carroll throwing to him last season, probably would have had more yards.
Oh wow. Pete Carroll isn't Pete Carroll like 78 years old too?
Yeah, but you know how quarterbacks are protected nowadays. They're not going to touch him.
Oh, nice.
They're not going to fucking touch him,
Pete
dude.
Carroll should sub in for the Seahawks.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll be their backup quarterback.
Yeah, he's got a
Um,
full head of white hair. He looks very youthful.
I think I got a little taken. I think I was very taken by Randall Cobb's wife. Uh,
Oh, she looked good.
and like how there's that whole segment like where Randall Cobb's like, yeah, you know how you wanted to. By the way, like when your son or daughters want a sibling, do you really listen? Is that really responsible as a parent? Be like, hey, my son wanted a little brother, so hey, let's give it to him.
We'll just give him a kid.
Is that very responsible now that I think about it?
Yeah, I'm with you. Like they showed the wife, and you're like, "Whoa, wait a second here. Hold on. Oh, Randall Cobb's got a hot wife. Let's talk about and some more screen time for her, for sure."
Yeah.
Where were you on the reveal of how they told the kids that they're gonna have a new little brother or sister? I thought that was cool. The kids didn't really understand it, but I
Yeah.
I feel like it was a nice effort. They're the Cobb mob. I thought that was a cool name for the family.
Yeah. Well, the job that I would want would to be Randall Cobb, pumping out the babies.
Oh, you just want to be Randall Cobb. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to be Randall Cobb with his smoking hot wife.
Going to playgrounds and telling his kids they're going to have another baby.
Yeah, I don't even have to be the football player, just as long as I could be like you know. But yeah,
Uh,
it was go ahead.
Curveball on that one. I didn't think you were going to actually choose an actual player to sub in as the player. So you can get
Yeah.
with a smoking hot wife.
Woo!
Good looking kids, too. Like
Good-looking
Randall Cobb has
kids,
like those like blue eyes. The wife is really attractive. Like those are going to be some good looking kids.
good-looking kids, good-looking family.
Next award, unintended comedy. I got two nominees. One is just all the coach speeches are just like there's no holds barred with the coaches. They're giving these ridiculous speeches full of platitudes, and then all the Aaron Rodgers interactions are
Mhm.
just unintended comedy. Like he asks you a question and he tunes out, like with the towel. Like he says one thing, then he looks the other way. When he's telling Zach Wilson, like, should have went out of bounds. I thought I was gonna score. Yeah, I thought I was gonna score once. Like it's just,
Yeah,
it seems like Aaron Rodgers. You don't really have conversations with Aaron Rodgers. You just say words to each other, and then you move
yeah,
along 3 minutes later. So, I'm loving all that. I'm loving all the Aaron Rodgers interactions with players and coaches.
yeah. Because I mean, he's probably just so jaded at this point. He's heard it all. He's seen it all. So his attention span, his yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So my what category is this again? Just a
Unintended
major
comedy.
unintended comedy. So I wrote down three names that just provoked unintended comedy. So the first one is Baker Mayfield, and the second one is Kyle Trask, the two quarterbacks for the Buccaneers. Because
Oh, really?
I was just thinking, I mean, the Bucks are gonna come straight back to earth this year. No Tom Brady, like they're just gonna be like a terrible team for a long time until they find a quarterback.
It's going to be an interesting year for the Bucks. We're post Tom Brady. Like, what's to be excited about? Baker Mayfield. This is
Baker, mate, you see, you even said it with a little giggle.
yeah. I don't get excited when I hear Baker Mayfield.
I mean,
Bucks.
bouncing around. He was bouncing around last year, man. He went from he was
Uh,
with
yeah. Where
the
did he start?
Panthers.
He started with the Panthers. Then he went to the Rams, or was there some team in between there?
No, he went to the Rams, yeah, because they claimed him after Stafford went on IR.
Right. And then he like got there on Wednesday, played on Thursday, and beat the Raiders. Just
Did he really?
yeah, that was that game where we had it. And then Baker Mayfield goes 94 yards for a game winning
Oh,
drive. And you just can't help but like, you know what, Raiders, I don't think you deserve any wins. How are you gonna lose to Baker Mayfield? Oh,
jeez,
that was the worst loss of the
that's
season
heartbreaking.
that Baker Mayfield won. So wow, so you actually are keeping tabs on Baker Mayfield this year.
Yeah. Well, and then also like it was just kind of on my mind because today they named him the starting quarterback, which was no shock to anyone really, but just like
Mhm.
damn, the dark times are looming for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
And you think
Um,
that's going to be comedy? Like their season is just going to be a mess?
oh yeah. Oh my God. I would not be shocked if they end up with the first overall pick this year.
Oh
Like
wow.
I expect it to be bad.
Oh, I left one unintended comedy out when Mike Evans keeps fat shaming the defensive tackle
Oh yeah.
on the Jets. That was pretty funny. He's like, man, he called me fat. I'm losing weight. I'm losing weight.
Yeah.
Totally got in
Quentin
his head.
Williams.
Yeah.
My other intended comedy, I don't know if you caught this guy's name, but this guy's name was Zach, and then I'm gonna go ahead and spell his last name. Kuntz, which well, sounds like cunts.
I didn't catch that. Who was that player?
I don't know. They just when they were doing like the rookie like
Oh, the talent
hazing whatever
show.
shit. Yeah, the
Yeah.
talent show. They
Mm.
just kind of they showed his name, and then I was like, whoa, wait, whoa. That dude's name is like Kuntz, unless it has some stupid pronunciation like Kuntz.
Yeah, the
I
talent
don't know.
show in general could be thrown in there in unintended comedy. Like, I don't know if you saw the first rookie talent show, but it was horrible. So they had to redeem themselves. This is their second attempt at it.
Oh,
And they just basically did karaoke, which was way better of an idea. And the guy did an entire rap song. That was
yeah.
like 1 minute too long, but the team was into it. They were cheering, they were clapping along. I think the rookies won their way back somewhat.
Yeah, that dude did a really. When white people start rapping, I get so nervous for them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, please don't.
That's
And
true.
then, yeah, it's just like, but he didn't embarrass himself,
Yeah, they
so that
liked
was
it.
cool.
It seemed like the team accepted him.
Yeah. Um. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Next award, producer meeting. This is you and I get to be producers, and we get to make a show out of something based around this episode. Now, I did some digging with this one as well, but two inspirations here. Number one, after I saw Coach Saleh jog the stairs, he's got a sweat going. He's got the buzzed head. Does Coach Saleh not have hair, or does he just buzz his head on purpose? I don't know. But I'm thinking I wouldn't mind seeing Coach Saleh in a celebrity boxing match. I wouldn't mind seeing him going up against somebody because he looks pretty buff and fit.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'd watch that show. I'd like to see him go up against, say, another coach or someone
Hmm.
else in sports, someone about his age who's also buff. So, celebrity boxing for Coach Saleh, Or after watching Woody Johnson come out with his bling, what about a drama about like not using Woody Johnson, but have actors in the roles of like the Jets family, and we have like a Succession drama, like a 16 episode HBO
Ah,
series based around characters and real people from the New York Jets. That's my TV show
ah,
I would like to see.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, because we could mend, say, the agents, say of like Entourage. We could mend
Hmm.
like meld the agents of like that silly HBO show Arliss. We could put Succession vibe in there. We could have a real drama where it's cutthroat and the family is going after each other, private jets, yachts. I say that would be a good show. I'd watch that. NFL football team family owners.
Yeah, and then you know what you could do too with that running back that probably shattered his kneecap and who's probably never going to play again. He could be like, "Hey, yo, Woody, I need an injury settlement, man," and then he's going to be like, "No," and then his family is going to be like, "This is modern day slavery."
Mm-hmm. Right, right. We could have the one like younger son or maybe daughter who's kind of like philanthropical like that. Be like, we got to do more for the community. We got to do it. And he's like, yeah, we don't do shit. We are the community. It would be awesome. And I already have a
Exactly.
title. The title is Luxury Boxes.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like the bling kind of drooped in the backdrop.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's a
Yeah,
go.
that's a good one.
All right,
Um,
what do you got? You're the producer now.
so mine isn't as so mine is that dude that was rapping. His name was what's his
Hmm.
name again?
Kunz,
Jerome. No,
Jerome Kunz.
that dude should be the rapper. That dude would have like a cachet immediately. No, it's that dude, Jerome Cap. So I have him like kind of like having like a moment of like clarity or like self reflection, and then being like seeing how like that crowd responded to his rapping performance, and then like going into the coach's office with Robert Saleh and be like, "Yo, coach, I don't mean to be. I know this is kind of coming out of nowhere, but I've been thinking about it and actually want to pursue a career of rap. And
Oh,
uh, as of today, I am retiring from the New York Jets." And then it's like kind of like that Joaquin Phoenix a mockumentary. I'm still here, where Joaquin Phoenix retires from acting to pursue a rapping career.
oh, interesting. So
Yeah,
is this a comedy or a drama? Are you actually is this like a reality show? Like you want this to really happen or are you scripting this?
I think it's probably no, it's like a yeah, it's like an actual. So in that movie, that Joaquin Phoenix movie, is a mockumentary, but this would be like a docu series.
Okay.
The dude that hung up the cleats to pick up
Mhm.
the chain
He had one dream.
and the mic. Yeah,
One dream, one mic. He walked away from the NFL to pursue it. And it's just like a shot of him walking down the alley with the hoodie
yeah.
on. Yeah. Well, like let me yes and this. Didn't you see the signing of a player today signed with mayonnaise, Heinz mayonnaise or something? Today, a
No,
lifetime contract with mayonnaise. Like, what about that guy? Like, what about that guy can have his own little side things going during the game with mayonnaise?
what? Who's this?
I think
A
he was
football
a
player?
Yeah, yeah. I think he's a rookie or something. He might have been on the not the Jags, maybe the Titans, but he signed a lifetime contract with mayonnaise, like Heinz mayonnaise, and he had like a little press conference where it was a bunch of mayonnaise jars behind him. You got
What?
to look it up. Like that could be a promotional tie-in.
And then out of all condiments, mayonnaise.
I don't know. Yeah, I saw it was mayonnaise.
I gotta
So
look. I'm gonna have to do my research on
look it
this,
up. That could
and
be
I'll get back to
something
you.
something to keep an eye on during the season. Baker Mayfield and this guy with mayonnaise.
Man, he must like really put mayonnaise on everything if he's has a lot of uh,
Mm-hmm.
a lifetime deal with him. I mean, like Mahomes, like yeah, he has that high or the what is it, Hunt's catch-up deal,
Does he?
but he was
Yeah.
going
Well,
really.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Hunts, Oakley. He's got a couple big A-lister. endorsements,
God,
but
I'm
not
gonna look it up.
mayonnaise.
I know you're kind of rattling me right now with that news.
It's true. It's true. I saw it. Next award, massive predictions. After seeing this episode, you have to make one massive prediction. And here's mine. The Jets are going to start slow. There's no way. There's no way they don't start any way but slow. They can't block. Aaron Rodgers has got to figure out his receivers. His receivers got to figure out him.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches are are making philosophies that make no sense. The Jets are going to start 2-7. There's no way they start fast.
2-7.
I just don't see them. I
Whoa.
don't see them being good. At least not right away.
Whoa. Wow, I didn't see this coming.
You
Two
think they're
and
going to start
seven.
fast? Like,
But do you think that they signed Derek Carr in the offseason? Aaron Rodgers, baby.
well, I looked at their first 4 games, and they're home for 3 of them. They're away at Dallas. They play Buffalo week 1. It's a tough schedule. I don't know that they're going to go 4-1. I don't know that they're going to go 3-4. I just think they start slow.
I think for sure they beat Dallas.
Dallas has got a good D, though, and they cannot block. Dallas is an awesome defense.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I because I missed so Rodgers has been under a lot of pressure, but they have a really good defensive line too. So that's why I kind of give them a little bit of a little bit of reprieve because like they got a good D line. But yeah, Dallas has Parsons
Mm-hmm.
and DeMarcus Lawrence. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm really unsure about the Jets.
Side note, since we brought up Dallas, Ezekiel Elliott to the Patriots. Are any of us surprised by this?
I mean, yeah, Belichick just loves those fucking goal line backs. They hold on to the football.
He can block. Zeke was always a good
Mm-hmm.
blocker. And Dallas had to get rid of this money that they paid him millions upon millions of dollars, and he didn't even produce the year
Mm-hmm.
previous. So I think this works out for both teams. It shouldn't be surprising that they were like, we got to clear this guy off the books. And he goes to New
Mm-hmm.
England.
Yeah, he's gonna look a lot like I don't know if you remember not too long ago, like the twilight years of Tom Brady, where they had that dude LeGarrette Blunt, who
Oh,
got like
yeah.
all of like the short goal line work. He's probably
Right.
gonna score like
Great
13 touchdowns this
fantasy
year.
back was LeGarrette Blunt. 1 yard touchdowns all season
Yeah.
long. Yep. Sorry, Dallas sidetrack. You know I don't want to get on Dallas sidetracks
No,
on this
well, you
show.
have the rest of the season to do that.
Do you have a massive prediction?
I do. So you want something like because I had one that was a little more long term, but then I had some like other ones that were kind of like stat predictions.
All right, yeah, go with it's a massive prediction. It's up to you.
So I was gonna do because I could just they're gonna have 2,000-yard rushers. I could do all that bullshit, which at the end of the day, who really cares? I got a better one for
You
you.
think they're gonna have 2,000-yard rushers?
No, but you see, that's like I don't know how their offense is gonna look, but I mean they have like 2 really talented running backs that could definitely rush for 1,000 yards each.
Okay.
But I was gonna do one that's gonna be more long term. I think that their relationship and the development of Zach Wilson is gonna be so overwhelmingly positive under Aaron Rodgers that they're gonna do whatever they can to keep Zach Wilson so that he's like the successor to Rodgers when he retires,
Oh,
like maybe in 2 years.
yeah. Okay, I could see that. I could see him like he comes in for a game or he starts a game and has a good game, and then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden we got all right. Let's just chamber this guy. We got something for the future years.
But yeah, I was just like, because we never really see that, huh? We see like when a veteran like Rodgers comes in, like that quarterback that's behind them always seems to walk. But I'm gonna say that they keep Zach Wilson. They're gonna do like give him like a little mini extension, and then like once he's a
Mm-hmm.
full time starter, they're gonna give him like one of those max deals.
I like that. Last award. Who won the episode? I got 2 nominees. Jets fans. I think Jets fans got to feel good about this team. I think there's a lot of things to be excited about. Young
Hmm.
receivers, Aaron Rodgers, fun story, hot wife, Ralph Macchio visiting. I think Jets
Mm,
fans are one nominee. And also, I got this as winning the episode. Maybe you picked up on this. A lot of players have mustaches on this team. Did
yeah,
you see? Rodgers has a mustache. There was another player that had a mustache. There was like two or three people that just had mustaches.
yeah,
So I went with mustaches, might have won the episode as well.
yeah. Yeah. Whenever I see Rodgers with a mustache, I always think like, oh, he means business.
Mm.
He's got the stash going.
Hmm.
Let's not fuck around now.
Hmm. He looks like very like old westerny, like a
Yeah,
gunslinger from the, and it makes him look tough. It works for him.
yeah. What do you prefer, the mustache Rodgers, or kind of like he's got the whole beard, he's got the gray going,
Well, the
looking a
tricky,
little mountain man like.
yeah, the tricky thing with the mustache is it's a fine line before you start looking like a cop with the mustache. Same with the
That's true.
sideburns. If your sideburns are too high, you look like law enforcement for some weird reason.
Mm,
Now the beard is interesting because a lot of it depends on how far down the neck the beard goes. Because that can be the tell if he's actually maintaining a beard or not. Now Rogers has a good beard because he's got like a lot of gray in it too. So he looks very
yeah.
mountain man. Like he does not have a like a shadow beard like Baker Mayfield has. Rogers has
Yeah.
like a mountain man beard and it's a little
Hmm.
crazy. It's a little bit of a crazy beard, which I think
Yeah.
complements him. And he's also got the blue eyes. So he's got this like he's got these eyes that stand out with the beard. His mustache is more full than the rest of his
Then the
facial hair.
beard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mustache is almost turned into like a wild Wyatt Earp type
Yeah.
of thing. So I think the beard, number one, makes me think Rogers is a little off, like he's a little bit of a crazy person, and
Okay.
also shows that he doesn't care. Like if he really cared about his appearance, like Baker Mayfield does, he'd trim the beard, but he doesn't. He lets that
Right.
beard do whatever he wants. So I
Yeah.
always had this theory that when a hot girl gets a short haircut, that's a cry for help. When uh, an attra-
Absolutely.
when an attractive dude grows a crazy beard, that's a dude being tired of being good looking. It's like I can't take.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
I'm gonna grow a beard. So for women, it's the hair. For men, it's the facial hair. So that's
Do
my
you mean
thinking.
that? Do you mean that in the sense like I'm tired of being good looking? Like, in other words, like he doesn't want that female attention?
Yeah, I think like the Brad Pitt when he grows the big beard, he's like, dude, I've been people's sexiest man for 3 years. I don't want to answer questions anymore. I don't want to just be obvious. I'm just gonna grow a beard and look like all disheveled. And I'll
Oh,
just
okay,
get
that makes
that's
sense.
yeah, that's what a good looking dude does. And a woman does it when they get the short haircut. And you know it's true because they never keep it. Because they only do it for like
It's,
a year or two and they'll be like, it's so
yeah,
easy. I just wanted something easy. I just jump out of the bed and it's
yeah.
fine. That never lasts. It never lasts. So for women, the short haircut is a cry for help. For men growing a beard, they're tired of being good looking dudes.
That's a very sound argument. Yeah, every girl that I've talked to that I've just had a conversation with that's had like that pixie haircut
The
is
pixie.
always
Yeah.
followed by her in some roundabout way saying, "Yeah, I was really going through some shit at that time."
Right.
It's always like very, very mysterious and
Hmm.
very negative. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. You can tell a woman's emotional state by how often they change their hair.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
I mean,
I'm,
I agree with
I'm,
that.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It just is. It's just
It
how it is.
just is, and it's a
Hmm.
fact, and we're saying it right now as if it's a matter of fact. So don't write down in the comments that we're speaking out of turn.
Yes. Show me one hot girl who kept her short haircut.
Hmm.
I'm willing to
I
be
dare you to
disproven.
produce a name.
Produce a
Exactly.
name.
Produce a name.
I would love to
Produce
hear
a
it.
name.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. All right. What are we even talking about? I don't even know. Should we just end the episode there? Oh,
Look, I think we should,
who won the episode for you?
who won the episode for me? I mean, hands down, Zach Wilson. That's
Oh,
my boy.
wow. Did not see that coming. Zach Wilson won the episode.
He's starting to win me over. He rubbed me the wrong way last season where they're like, you think the offense is holding back this team? He's like, nah. Like really arrogant. Not to say that he's not still arrogant, but hopefully he is humbled sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. And I'm actually kind of rooting for him. I felt bad for him when they signed Aaron Rodgers and knowing that he was going to play second fiddle to one of the GOATs.
This has a potential for like a great Zach Wilson year because like there was too much pressure on him last year. Yeah. And he's so young. He's in charge of this offense that might not even really been that understandable or that great for him. This year, he can just learn and there's no pressure. He can just take it all in. Like this could be a great year for Zach Wilson. I like that pick. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. He won the episode.
Yeah. Good for
Maybe he should grow a mustache.
Maybe he should. Yeah, maybe he should grow a mustache and stop fucking his mom's friends.
Well, 1 out of 2 is not bad.
Yeah, 1 out of 2 is.
Hey, maybe you should get the mustache. Like you got a mustache. Maybe you should get rid of the beard stuff, and you could have a mustache. What about that?
Well, I'll think about it. I'll think about it, Pat.
Come on, you got a pretty good mustache going. That could be something.
I don't look very good with a mustache. I look very cop-like.
Yeah, you could look like a cop.
Yeah.
Or at least shave the beard, see what you look like, and then you can let the beard come back.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. No, but I've tried the mustache, and it's never a good look. I'm just like, even in the moment, I'm like, this looks like shit.
Well, I had it. Mustaches won the episode, so. Well, episode 3, Hard Knocks. The season is almost here. Adrian Ramirez from the movie department of the network. If you haven't heard our episodes with he and I breaking down movies, go back and listen to it. But we got a Hard Knocks in. We got NFL in our system as well. So.
Oh yeah, I had a lot to purge, and I'm glad you had me on. So,
and be on the lookout. We may have a Mad Dog Russo sub in the form of Adrian Ramirez in the future. So.
You want to buy Mike?
For Adrian Ramirez and me, Patrick Ramirez, Hard Knocks episode 3 recap. Thank you, Adrian. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you, Patrick. See you.
Okay, that is it. That is the episode. Episode 3 of Hard Knocks. Episode 3 of us recapping the show as well. I want to thank cousin Adrian for joining me, taking time out of his busy schedule to talk a little Hard Knocks. Go listen to our episodes previous that are up on the channel of us breaking down movies if you're new to them. Check it out. A lot of insight. We break it all down. How are you feeling for your team? How are you feeling for this Jets team? I feel like we are all uneasy. However, this episode told me a lot. It told me that coaches never speak in normal terms. It's all some sort of weird draconian Hallmark card. If you want to be a coach, you need to memorize 5 to 7 platitudes, and you could be an NFL coach. Definitely college. All right, that's the episode. You heard it. Thanks everybody who came out to my shows last week. And if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. We've got some new subscribers this week, so welcome. And there's plenty of stuff on there. There's plenty of stuff going up. For cousin Adrian, for me, Patrick Ramirez. Thanks for listening, everyone. Hard Knocks, episode 4, next week. I will see you there.